Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of your women. That is good. That is good.
Hello, welcome to Wahoo Warrior. This will be the first game of 3 at a Rogue Trader tournament down in Kansas City, Missouri at Tabletop Game and Hobby. It's part of an escalation series of tournaments. They go up 500 points a shot, do it once a month. So this is at 2,500 points. I want to take 1 second real quick though, before I get into the battle report. My opponent, the first draw here was Dark Elves, and right as soon as we set up the table, he expressed his distaste for me as an opponent, and I was a little confused at first. I thought it was just because it was a dwarf list, and then I recollected that I had played him a couple months ago, and he wasn't too happy about my battle report. And that's something I'm kind of new to battle reporting, and one of the things that I need to probably make sure I do is that I respectfully display my reports that show the content and not my personal whatever, because I don't remember the report being super negative, but I obviously it offended him, so I was very sorry to him for that. And because I don't have any personal griefs with anybody. I know it, when we played the last time, it was a bad matchup for him as far as the list, and the scenario was horrible. He had to roll, and he had guys all over the place. But so again, I wanted to say I'm sorry to you if you're listening, and I appreciate that you let me make this battle report. And because if all these battle reports, my intention is to just kind of put some information about the hobby out and promote the hobby, not make it worse. So thank you very much. Here's my dwarf list. I kind of went over a video on it before, but I got a cannon on the left here with the rune of forging and stalwart. Got some 5 slayers to protect them. Got some rangers out there after vanguard. Those are my thunders with tan weapon shield as well. Cannon with just forging on it. Got a grudge thrower with fire. Those are my iron drake block that I vanguarded them out there. I also got a helicopter vanguarded. And then an organ gun with no runes on it, and 20 longbeards with great weapons. I got a runesmith in there and a runesmith in my iron drake unit, and then my helicopter without vanguard. So I'm kind of deployed kind of in the middle here. I wanted to see how my iron drakes could fare against a melee army if I was able to put enough damage out, and I didn't really want to castle completely in a corner because we've got these token things. That's another thing I need to go over real quick. This is a prep tournament for the Shiloh Slaughter GT down in Fayetteville, Arkansas. So they're going off of their scenarios that they put up, at least the first 3, and it's got 3 tokens in the middle. And the victory conditions are not normal battle point, victory point. It can play a factor, but I'll go over these real quick. Claim the center objective is worth 6 battle points. Claim the 2 secondary objectives are 2 battle points each. Win by 300 points is 4 battle points. Have more banners in your possession, yours and enemies, 5 battle points. And reduce below half wounds or destroy enemy's most expensive unit, 3 battle points. So I'm not used to this type of system, so I'm really glad that I went and played this. So not only trying to work out my army list, but keep in mind and remembering my army construction and play. So anyway, so getting onto his army, he's got some dark riders there, bolt thrower, the corsairs, dark elf corsairs, in a block there with the level 4 sorceress kind of nestled in the corner, and a battle standard bearer in the other corner. A big unit of witch elves with the cauldron. Inside there is also, which I come to find out later, I've never played against. I've only played Dark Elves a few times. Is the special character? I think her name's Helbron. And then on the right here, he's got 2 more units, or 1 unit of Dark Riders, 1 unit of Warlocks. And then he's also got 2 Hydras there behind the building. So, winning first turn, I was really hopeful for, but of course, I vanguarded out there, put myself in position, and I did not win first turn. He did not vanguard these guys, so he charges, and he makes a relatively easy charge for Dark Riders. I stand and shoot, and not even able to kill a single guy with my 4 shots. And here, he charged the helicopter with his Hydra. I should have just held. I should have held, and then if he failed, rerouted some stuff or flew behind some things. But I didn't. I went ahead and fled, but I didn't think about my line of flight, put him right behind my Iron Drakes, which I want to back my Iron Drakes up. And then here he comes up, like I figured he would, comes swooping around as fast as he can. The Warlocks are on the right, and the Dark Riders are on the left. And then this, he thought I could tell he was thinking for a moment how he wanted to move him, and he basically just said, I'm not sticking around. Back here, he's got the +1 movement banner in there as well. So here comes the Witch Elves, full speed ahead, 12 inches up, and that, they're getting there quick, and I've got my guys up there, and I can't even back up at all because of my helicopters right there. So that's what it looks like at the end of the Dark Elf movement phase. Magic, I believe this round doesn't do a whole lot. I've got 2 Spell Eaters in my army, and I know in this game I use them both, but I'm not able to eat either one of the spells that I try to stop. With that Dark Elf magic, it's got some wicked combos of pulling out the spell dice and whatnot. So, there's just a picture again. The other Hydras coming around the building. So, really fast-moving army, and I'm not castled up in a corner. So this is really going to be a big test for these dwarves. I rally my helicopter, and I'm unable to back up my Iron Drakes any. So that's unfortunate. And I just have to try to take it. I don't even turn my great weapons. I'm leaving them as a backup. Figured those Dark Riders will hit me and bounce off or be stuck. The Warlocks, I just moved my guys a little bit to keep them from getting a charge on the organ gun. But I moved the helicopter over to try to put down a machine gun flame template down on those Warlocks. I do some shooting in the center. My cannonball, one cannon with a Rune of Forging blows itself up. That's unfortunate. And the other cannon does score a hit on the Cauldron, but it makes its 4-up ward save. So the Dark Elves, this turn they try to charge in multiple places, and the 2 times Rune of Forging keeps him from making it in all instances. So that was kind of a surprise to my opponent, how powerful that can be. So he's got some multiple failed charges there, but again, I'm was unable to back up, and he's in my face so fast it's going to be a really bad situation. His Warlocks, I don't think they might have just scooted up to throw some magic. They're not too worried about committing them, so they may have tried to charge a Grudge Thrower and failed that charge, but so it's getting desperate quick here, and I'm not too sure how long I'll hold out against all that. Some shooting. That's actually the Hydra did most of that with a flame template. The other Hydra was going to move up and flame my Iron Drakes, but I did advise him that they have a 2-up ward against flaming before he did it, so he elected to just hold on to that for now. So lose a few Longbeards. Still okay there though. And then in the middle he kills a few Iron Drakes with some magic. He's really throwing down a bunch of curses, and I'm doing the most that I can do to ward off anything that affects my ballistic and weapon skill. He does finally kill my Rangers, but it was on his turn, so he can't really do anything. They held for a couple turns, or a couple combat rounds. And then Dwarf turn, I flew my 1 gyro over here to basically block a charge and direct those guys into the side of my Longbeards if I had to. My other Longbeards face off against the Hydra and those Dark Riders. Here I just scoot back a little bit, and then I move my helicopter up to charge block the Witch Elves. I wasn't able to get it so I could charge block both those units. That would have been nice, but there I'm pretty sure I can block the Witch Elves, and since they're frenzied, get them running off in the other direction. I'm hoping that those Corsairs will fail their charge, because it's not a gimme with the 2 runes of slowness. But yeah, there's that. So since I have them march blocked, I'm feeling pretty safe about that. Then I do blow up that Hydra with my Iron Drakes and go ahead and take care of it, since I figure I can stand and shoot against the Corsairs and whittle them down. And as long as I keep their +1 strength off them, I should be able to hold them off with the Witch Elves going the other direction. And then my Thunders are just popping some shots into the Corsairs as well. So on his turn, he charges the helicopter with his Warlocks, charges the Hydra into the front of the Longbeards, and then over on the other side, he really got me good. And here's what happens. My helicopter was effectively blocking the Witch Elves, and I figured they would be out for 2 rounds of combat. Unfortunately, Hellbraun is right next to the chariot, or whatever, the cauldron, but I'm not blocking her. If I would have been that's what, when you quick march block something, charge block it, you got to pay attention. And I could have positioned the helicopter to put her in the way, the helicopter in the way of her as well. But she has the option to, since her alone is in the flank of the helicopter, she can charge to the flank of the helicopter, get an overrun, and get into this combat. And that was an error, because I could have easily positioned my helicopter a different way to keep that from happening. Brilliant play by my opponent, I have to say, to my chagrin. And I have only seen a couple battle reports with the Hellbraun. I was not sure how powerful she was. I mean, I knew she was powerful, but I wasn't sure how to try to take her down, and I make some errors in that regard, but I'll get to that. So here's my Thunders. Looks like they lost a few. Like, their bolt throwers have really nothing to do but pepper them with bolt shots. And he makes the charge with these guys by 1 inch. The Rune of Slowness almost kept him out of there. And you can see Hellbraun charges out and gets into the side of the helicopter. And then the Dark Riders come into the side just to get in there. So over on the right here, there's the combat's about to happen here. And my Longbeards against that Hydra, they do pretty well. Put 2 wounds on it, which is unable to grow back, and the helicopter holds, because I do have the 12-inch Rune of Stubborn on that BSB. So you can see the combat here. Hellbraun herself is the one causing all the carnage, and I took a challenge with her with my unit champion the first round. There's the combat. I took a rune on the helicopter, and took a few wounds from the Thunder Stomps and chomping them. But yeah, in the middle there, lost quite a few guys right away. She only took out the unit champion, but the other guys all had +1 strength and did a number to me. But I was stubborn and held. And then I charged my Thunders into the flank as a emergency reserve. Now the next round of combat, what I should have done is not taken a challenge. I went ahead and sacrificed my Runesmith to try to save models. I could have just let her kill a bunch of people and then moved my characters into combat with her with all the damage that they do. And then my Thunders kind of fought their way out of combat, killed those 3 guys, so that was unfortunate. So now my characters are in base contact with her, but I'm unable to strike her because she was in a challenge. Cause that was so dumb. I should have not taken that second challenge, and I could have maybe killed her, and then it wouldn't have been so bad. But yeah, since that wasn't the case, she's going to have free reign to wail on the rest of my unit. my guys here, I did dispatch that Hydra, and I reformed. And since I'm stubborn, it didn't really matter to me. I figured let him charge me, and I'll just see how much damage I can do. And here, finally the big chariot thing gets into combat. They're pretty depleted. My organ gun was wailing on them. I was unable to kill that whole unit or the thing though. So yeah, it's not a good situation for the Iron Drakes. Although they are pretty resolute guys. With him re-rolling it. Oh, the other thing too is BSB in that unit has a great weapon, and he's reaving dwarfs left and right. And he gets a curse up on me of some sort to minus my weapon skill or ballistic skill. You can see how much damage those guys have taken from some other fired a vortex through him with a spellcaster, fired a vortex through him. So there he kills the Longbeards, kills him to the last. I think what he did was he may have killed him in the last. No, he did. He ran him down because my BSB had died, so I wasn't stubborn anymore. He ran him down. Had to stop right there, and then we're basically on turn 4 at this point, and it's kind of called for time. We both kind of looked at each other like, what? Because I have no movement or magic, and we felt that it was going like we were playing at a normal pace, but we get up and look around, and basically everyone else is done having lunch, and so that was the end of the game, though. So we total up the wonky things here, and they were telling us how to do it wrong. I was 99% sure that all of the objectives were supposed to be what you have claimed at the end, but this is what the TO told us to do, so we total up. Obviously, my victory points, I was massacred, but I was still able to score some of the additional things because they were doing it wrong. But anyway, it was a good game. I'm glad that I was able to play this opponent again to hopefully redeem myself. I pride myself on being a good sport and a good sportsman, and that carries over into battle reports because everyone has off days, and so do I. So if I ever play anybody and you don't like what I have to say, send me a message, send me a comment, and I will fix it. I will take the video down and fix it. So that's the end of game 1. It's an interesting battle. Put my dwarfs to the test. Didn't castle up in the corner, so...
I see you're not hiding behind your high walls. Valiant of you. Ill-advised, but valiant.
That is kind of what you get. I'm going to keep testing it, keep trying this out. Got a couple other opponents. I also did learn one very important thing.
Now you know who you're fighting.
That bitch is no joke. Makes me think I need a combat character in my Iron Drakes as opposed to the special character, but I will work on it and see how it goes. Thanks for watching.